This is BobbieD coming to you live from Talamban, Cebu, Philippines. Tonight we have a special uh, live stream event, and this is in reference to an NFL player, young man, 24 years old, uh, player for the Buffalo Bills football team, NFL football team. And when I say football, ladies and gentlemen, many of you in your minds, you think of soccer. All right, for those of you that are in the eastern part of the world. However, in the western part of the world, when we say football, we're referring to American or NFL, National Football League football. Okay, let's just make that distinction and clarity up front. Now, uh, I'm going to go over some things with you regarding the injury for Damar Hamlin, and let's just get started. Thumbnail for today. Pray for Damar. That's it. The brother needs prayer. He's in the hospital right now. And for those of you that believe in prayer, send up a few for the Damar. Keep him lifted up. Pray for his family. Pray for his safe recovery and that he would be back 100% normal again. We're going to take a look at some things today. Here's our focus. What happened? When it happened? Where it happened? And the current status, okay? Let's jump right off into this. Now, I'm going to read a brief article or summary that answers all four of those questions in one shot, okay? Here we go. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin is in critical condition at a hospital after he collapsed after having made a hit in the first quarter of Monday Night Football against the Bengals in Cincinnati. Hamlin, 24, suffered a cardiac arrest, which is a heart attack, basically, the Bills said in a statement early Tuesday. His heartbeat was restored on the field, and he was transferred to UC Medical Center for further testing and treatment, the Bills said, referring to the University of Cincinnati's Level 1 Trauma Center. He's currently sedated and listed in critical condition. Cincinnati was leading the Bills 7-3 when Hamlin tackled Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins, and then he stood up and fell over on his back. As trainers surrounded Hamlin, an ambulance arrived on the field. Hamlin received several and Rogers called emotional players. Said said the players were very emotional, and the coaches stood by as the Bills knelt to pray. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Real quick, player was injured. This type of injury, you don't see a player having a cardiac arrest or a heart attack on the field. And what happened, what made this so bizarre, the young man was a defensive back, okay? And he tackled the guy, tackled him down. The young man, Damar, tackled the receiver, and the receiver was down. He tackled him well. The receiver went down. Damar hit him, but he hit him with his chest. And Damar fell down, but he sprung right back up. And as soon as he got up, he held his head, he fell right back down, flat. That's when his heart went out. He had cardiac arrest or heart attack, heart failure, okay? So the question is, what happens when we have a society that enables people to do such violent action and get hurt? Is that to be condoned, or is that to be condemned? Damar went to the University of Pittsburgh. He was an outstanding player, and he was drafted. He played football most of his, life in high school. He was drafted as a 6th-round draft out of the University of Pittsburgh, and he started every game this year. He's a second-year NFL pro. Started every game this year, even the one that he got injured in. So the question is, No, is it something? Was it something in his history that was prone to heart attack? Did he have an injury-prone history? Was he? What about his prior histories? Of injury. Yeah, this type of injury is something that medical experts very seldom see. Okay, and we're going to look at the injury as we go through this, and we're going to tell you what the exact medical name for it is and how it happened, or it could happen to any high schooler, any pee wee league type of football. It could happen to anyone, but it's a 1 in a million type thing, and it happened to happen to him. It just happened that it hit him. Yeah, it's a very, very debilitating injury because it's many people don't survive once they get that heart attack. His heart, ladies and gentlemen, actually stopped beating on the football field. Okay, the medical crew, thank goodness, came out immediately, noticed that his heart wasn't breathing, and they initiated CPR, which saved his life. Okay, he was not breathing for approximately 9 minutes. Now, understand that when your brain does not get the sufficient oxygen for 9 minutes, the cells begin to do what? Deteriorate, and they lose full anatomical function. So we're looking at his possible recovery, okay, and but it's a long road. Now, to his favor, ladies and gentlemen, the young man was in peak physical condition. He was young. So those things are in his favor as far as recovering from this injury. Okay. Now, I like football. I'm a football fan. I'm not when I say football, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not talking about soccer. I'm not a big soccer fan. Okay. I used to play soccer in high school, but that's about it. I'm not a big soccer fan now. But anyway, I'm talking about American football, or many of you call it NFL or American football. Okay. I watch it when I can. I'm in the Philippines, so I don't get a lot. We don't get a lot of games out there, but I watch it when I can. My favorite team is the Atlanta Falcons. They're not doing so well this year. But the question is, what do you do? What can the NFL do in a situation like this? During the game, it's a Monday night game. Uh, they suspended, first time ever in the history of the NFL, National Football League, that they suspended a game in the middle of play. The Bengals were losing the game. Excuse me, the Bills were losing the game. The Bengals had them up 7-3. So the question is, what are they going to do after the game? Are they going to call this game a tie? Do you have to replay it? We don't know about that. Okay. Main thing is right now the status and the condition of Damar Hamlin. He's in stable condition. He's in critical condition, and he's being sedated, and he's on an oxygen breather that's breathing for him. Okay. So medical experts indicate that they will slowly release the breathing apparatus and see how well Damar can breathe on his own. That will determine how quickly he may recover from this critical injury. Okay, so definitely, ladies and gentlemen, this is nothing to be laughing about or take it lightly. This young man is fighting for his life. And for those of you that are prayerful people, I would request, please, ma'am, please, sir, pray for Damar Hamlin and his family and his teammates, because the teammates were affected by this as well. Can you imagine you're playing the middle of the game, NFL game, and you see one of your brothers, your teammates go down like that? The teammates were so emotionally affected by that, they had to suspend. They could not complete the game. Okay? So this is something that I've watched football for many, many years, seen a lot of people get injuries, and but they cart them off the field and they're okay. I've never seen a person die on the field, thank goodness. But I have seen a player get. I saw a player got hit and he got spinal injury, never recovered use of his legs. So that's about the worst I've seen. But this is right now. It tops everything. I've never seen someone just get hit. Had they not had the medical crew not reached him in an appropriate time to begin CPR, he would not be alive. And that's something we need to reflect on. I love football. I like to watch it. But when it comes to things like this, it just bothers me. I didn't see the game. I saw what happened on TV as the news announcers showed it, but I was still affected by that. Young man, 24 years old, in the prime of his life, and he's taken out, doing something that he loves. It's hard to watch that kind of thing. Yeah. So be in prayer once again for him. Now, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take a look at I'm going to show you some interesting information that you should know as it pertains to injuries. Let me go back here. I'm going to read to you what the technical or medical name for his injury was. Now, we know that many football players, athletes, wrestlers, whatever you want to call them, get trauma to certain body parts. And most of the time in the NFL, it's to the what? The brain or the head. They get head trauma. And many of them have allows that head trauma to cause them to have psychosis and a whole lot of other problems, mental problems. So, but he didn't get a head injury. That's why it's so bizarre. Most of the injuries in the NFL, when it comes to trauma, critical and dramatic trauma, is from head injuries. Okay, it didn't happen in his case. That's why it was so unusual and so bizarre. He had trauma to his what? Chest cavity. Okay, and when you talk about the chest cavity in particular, he had trauma to his heart. And when he received the trauma to his heart stopped beating. He went into defibrillation, which is when the irregular beat of the heart, right? It's like shocking, like someone just shocks your heart and it stops beating, or they shock it and started beating. It's an irregular beat. His heart went into a regular heart rhythm. And after that, it just stopped beating. Okay. So let me tell you the medical term of it. If you see on the left there, it says the medical term is commotio cordis. Okay. That is the diagnosis or the medical condition that he was diagnosed as having. Now, commotio cordis refers to the sudden arrhythmic death or rhythmic shock caused by low mild chest wall impact. Okay. He had a chest wall impact. Okay. When he tackled the guy, the receiver, his chest hit the receiver helmet or his body so hard that it shocked his heart and he had a heart attack. Commotio cordis is seen mostly in athletes between ages of 8 and 18. That makes sense because between the ages of 8 and 18, ladies and gentlemen, they're small kids and they're still developing. And so when they have a huge impact, because their organs are so small and not strong enough, that would make sense. But he was 24. Okay. So now it says commotio cordis is seen mostly in athletes between the ages of 8 and 18 who are partaking in sports with projectiles such as a baseball, hockey puck, or lacrosse ball. So football is not one of the events that's mostly seen, that this particular injury is mostly seen in. That, again, is a very, very difficult circumstance to adhere, to understand. Why did this have to happen to a young man in the prime of life and who was, for all extensive purposes, doing an excellent job? He was a starter. He started all games for his team this year. And he was effective at his job. He was good. That's why they made him a starter. That's why they drafted him in the 6th round. But he had an injury that is very rarely seen in the NFL, at least. It's seen in maybe in a little smaller, younger ages, but it's not seen in older athletes. Okay. So I want to contrast the injury of another NFL player. Many of you may know him or not, as I mentioned his name, Tua Tagovailoa. Okay. Tua, and I'm messing up his last name, y'all forgive me, but I'll just call him Tua Tagovailoa. Let's call him Tua. He's the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. Okay. And many of you understand that he was in college and had a serious injury. I'm gonna go over his injury chart to let you know how NFL players sustain injuries. It's a very, very violent sport, ladies and gentlemen. But the people that participate in the sport are aware of the dangers of the sport, and so they do it anyway. I don't have boys, but if I ever had a boy and had to raise a son, I would avoid him going into football. I would not allow him into boxing, anything where there's violence and hitting in the head. That's very, very dangerous sport. Basketball maybe is okay, but football, even though I love the sport, I would never put my kid in that because I understand the dangers of it. Okay, so let's go over to Tagovailoa's, the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. I want to show you his injury report. Okay, here we go. This is his injury guide. Now you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's had 7 major injuries, some of them minor, in his life. Okay, this is Tua Tagovailoa's injury guide. As you can see, the number 1, he's had 1 to the head, he's had 1 to his chest, maybe the chest bone. He had 1 to his hand, he has 1 to his hip, and this 1 to the hip was a serious injury. He had to have surgery on it. If you remember, he was in college, and many people predicted that he'd never play another down in his life. But he overcame that and became a starter for the Miami Dolphins. But that's not the end of his story yet. The injuries go on. 1 to his thigh, 1 to his knee, and 1 to his foot. But that's not all. It continues. This is a guy that shows the basics. If you look at, I'm going to show you what else. Here, look at his injury list, okay? Look at this. Look at this. And I'm going to big this up so I can see it better. Okay, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 injury lists since 2019, and maybe there's some that's not even listed. I'm gonna just go over some of the. I'm not gonna go over the whole thing, but I'm gonna just go over the injury list starting in November 2019. He had a lingual hip strain. So Tagovailoa suffered a dislocated right hip in the second quarter versus Mississippi State and underwent successful surgery. He missed the rest of the season. Y'all remember that game? Okay. I thought he'd never come back. Okay. Second one, hand finger fracture. That was in March of 2000, October 13, knee sprain. NFL. He was NFL. Sorry, he was Mississippi. He was with his team, Mississippi. November 18, 2018, he had a leg quad strain. December 2018, ankle sprain. Okay. A grade 3 ankle sprain, which is really high. He underwent surgery again. So that's second surgery he's undergoing. Okay. That's the third surgery. He went back. If you go back to March 2018, he had surgery on his throwing hand when he hit his hand on somebody's helmet. He underwent surgery for that. So that's 3 surgeries so far in less than 2 years. In December 2018, Tagovailoa had an ankle sprain. He underwent surgery. That's 4, actually 3 surgeries. And October 2019, he had another ankle sprain, and he underwent a successful right toe procedure and missed 1 game. So he had a procedure again. November 2020, hand thumb sprain. This is when he was in the NFL. Missed week 12 game against the Jets. September 2021, NFL chest rib fracture. He was placed on IR, missed 3 games. November 3rd, 2021, hand finger fracture. Okay. And then another one, he had a concussion, okay, in September 29, 20, and he's still out. He's out on. He had another one. I don't have it listed there, but he had another fracture, concussion rather. He's in the NFL concussion protocol program right now with a concussion, and they're not letting him out. Just looking at this injury chart or injury list, I would recommend this young man stop playing, okay? Stop playing while he can walk and talk and breathe. Because with this type of history, he is not going anywhere soon. He may be talented, but the NFL will break you down, talent or no talent. You're going to get hit, especially if you're a quarterback. And when you get hit multiple times like he's had multiple surgeries, and he's had multiple concussions. He's in the NFL concussion protocol right now. Yeah. So with that type of injury, he should not be playing. Okay. And when you I didn't load it. I thought I loaded it. I was going to contrast the injury list for Tua versus the injury list for Damar Hamlin. Okay. And I don't need to put it up there because when I looked at the injury list for Damar Hamlin, when you look at this chart right here for Tua, he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 injuries. Guess what? The number of injuries that Damar Hamlin had from college to pro. Guess. Take a guess. I'm gonna count to 2 seconds. See if you guess. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 0. Goose egg. Damar Hamlin had 0 injuries reported. At least reported. Let's put it like that. Okay. So that's even more. You would suspect that someone that had type of injury like this may have had prior injuries, that would may have allowed him to be more apt to have another injury, maybe in the chest area. He had 0 injuries reported, 0. Okay, and even from college to the NFL. Okay, so he was pretty healthy. Yeah, so this tells us that this injury that he succumbed to is not a normal injury that you would see on the NFL football pro level. Okay, so because the more what happens more often than not after an injury such as this to a player, then the whole public area, we need to reform this. We need to be this shouldn't happen. What you got to understand, that's a risk that every player, whether in the Pee Wee League, the little small guys league, the kids league, high school, college, NFL, when they step on that field, they're putting their lives in jeopardy. That's why they have helmets. That's why they have shoulder pads, chest pads, knee pads, all that's covered. But that sometimes doesn't work. It doesn't protect you enough. The question is, how long will the public go with people? Will the public go with the NFL having people hurt like this on a consistent basis? Is the public going to continue to just allow this to happen? Is the public going to have an uproar about it? That's my question. What's the public going to do about this? Yeah, is it something that we need to be concerned about? Is it something that we need to get legislation for the NFL to get more safer protocols? What should we do? Yeah, I feel sorry for this guy, man. His whole life was devoted to a sport that he loved. He did what he loved to do, and he understood the risk. Nobody forced him to do it, but he's in the hospital right now fighting for his life. Okay, so that's my take. My take is, I will pray for this young man. That's a tough. I'm hurt right now. I saw him get hit. I could put the video, but I don't want to do that. It's hard. It's heart wrenching, man. When you see a young man he hit somebody. I like the tackle. Tackle's great, but when he got up, when he sprung up immediately, I said, "Oh, he's all right." I didn't think nothing of it because that's what he normally do: spring up so he hit somebody. But he did like this, and he fell straight out. That's when his heart stopped. That's when I was like, "What? Whoa!" It was huge. So that's my take on it. It's a terrible tragedy to happen, but it could have happened to any one of those players in the NFL and or high school and or those small Pee Wee League, NFL League, Kids League. So I'm sorry it happened, and so we need to learn from this. It may be that the NFL will make that when you tackle, you don't hit a torso area. Maybe that they will cause the NFL to reflect about having more support for the torso area, where as it pertains to the heart area. I don't know, but we have to learn a lesson from this, so that future NFL pro players or college players or kid high school, that this won't happen to them. How can we guarantee that it won't happen? We can't, but we can do something. I think that something should be done to ensure that the possibility of this happening again is lessened. Okay, that would be required to get some type of equipment or some type of way that the players would tackle differently, versus using the head and shoulder. Before, ladies and gentlemen, the players would tackle with helmets. That was outlawed. Okay, that stopped a lot of injuries. But now they're telling them to tackle to the torso, and so now they're seeing more torso injuries. So I don't know what the NFL is going to do, but they need to study this and do something. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. Pray for Damar. He has a charity organization, and they just raised it's a GoFundMe account. I think it's raised like $2 million in the last day or so. Okay, people are really feeling the pain and the suffering that this young man is going through, and his family, and they are doing what they can to help. If you want to do so, go look up his GoFundMe and send a donation if you want. Don't send me nothing. I'm not asking you for nothing. Don't say, "Well, Bobby, he's trying to make money." That's not what I'm saying. Stop the lie, mister. I'm saying help the young man if you want to. Go to his GoFundMe account and send the donation if that's your desire to do so. Okay? All right. That's it, man. That's all I got for you today. I wanted to bring it to you. It just touched my heart when I saw the young man collapsed on the field, and I really feel bad for him, not only for him because his mom was there. His mom was right at the game, man. Can you imagine how his mom feels right now to see your son that you saw him play so many games in high school and now he's in pros and in college and now and then you see him collapse like that? Oh man, can you imagine the pain and stress she's feeling right now while her son's on a breathing machine and fighting for his life? Now, the predictions are that he will recover. It may take a long time, and because they say the experts say that when a person has received one of these types of injuries, if they get breathing, if they get CPR within the first 10, 15 minutes, they will recover. However, they're not sure if he'll be 100% of his faculties yet, and only time will tell. Only time will tell. The good thing that he has in his favors, ladies and gentlemen, that he was a young, vibrant, 24-year-old man, and he was the peak of physical condition. Okay. So those things are in his favor, and we will continue to pray that he would be healed and he would have 100% recovery. We also would pray that the NFL, National Football League, will do something. What you mean, BobbieD? What you mean do something? Do something, man. Young man almost lost his life. Okay. They need to study what happened and make a plan that it may not that would try to alleviate these type of injuries before or lessen it. Okay, I know this is an unusual circumstance, but who wants to see somebody collapse on the field like that? That's a turn off. It's hard, man. And it hurts when you see somebody lose it like that. And hard, man. That'll stop people from watching the game when you see that. So NFL, you need to help this young man recover as much as possible. And then you need to go and find a way, have scientists get together, engineers get together, coaches, players, develop a team to figure out what can be done to stop or to lessen this type of injury for occurring in future games, okay, and future athletic events, okay? That's all I got for you today. I'm running a night shift today. Hope everybody's doing good. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't done it already, hit the like button, please. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Hit the like button, man. Come on, let's go. All right, we're going to ride the stage today. Bobbie, tonight, we're running the train. BobbieD, DC, One Nation, a good one. Look, who we got? I want to find out who's rubbing up, toughen up, bossed up enough to be the first man in his house. Who that say they're going to beat them Saints? Everybody said they're going to beat them Saints. I don't know, man. Saints didn't make it this year. Falcons didn't make it this year. But I said this. I've been saying every day for the last 6, 7 years. Next year gonna be the Falcons year. We'll see. They did. Falcons won. They won over the holiday period. They beat Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals. They beat them by 1 point. Barely beat them. They got a rookie quarterback, and I don't really. Desmond Ritter. He's okay, but I don't see a lot of greatness coming out of him right now. But we'll see. Time will tell. All right, I'm first round now. People get ready for the change coming. Don't need no ticket. You just get on board. All you need is love. Ooh, say it again. Say sweet, sweet love. Don't need no ticket. Now you just get on board. When I say toot toot, you say all aboard. Toot toot, toot toot. When I say all aboard, you say toot toot. All aboard, all aboard. Let's ride this train. Y'all ready, man? I'm gonna find out. Murphy Hayes, what's up, Murphy? Murphy Hayes and our first man up. What's up, man? You good? So good to see you. So good to see you. What's up, my brother? He said, easy, my friend. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate that. Murphy Hayes is a praying man. He's a member of the church, and he's an officer of the church. You know what I'm saying? So he knows the Lord. And when he said he's going to pray, he's going to pray. Okay? He's a prayer warrior. He know how to reach to the high heavens and talk to the Lord. There are certain people that when they pray, God said, what? Who that? Because that guy, they catch his ear. And you know how you develop a relationship with the Lord? You pray constantly. The Bible said pray without what? Ceasing. Yeah, you can pray. I pray all the time. I'm on the toilet. I said, Lord, thank you. I'm playing with you. When I go to bed, I pray, When I get up in the morning, thank you. That's what I do. During the day, thank you. But that's how you do. You develop a relationship with the Lord, and the Lord gives you what? A favor when you pray to Him, and He opens the door of heavens for you when you pray. If you develop that relationship, let's go. Thanks about Murphy. First man up, y'all giving us props. Round train. Who we got? Murphy. Hey, he's the head of BobbieD. What's up, my brother? So good to see you. Round the train. BobbieD. See one nation of group. What's up? What's up? You good? You good? So good to see you, man. Round train. Who we got? VJ, what's up, VJ? What's up, my brother? So good to see you. If you're new here, hit that. Go to YouTube, go to BobbieD and Lisi Life in the Philippines. Hit that subscribe button for me, brother, and then hit the like button too. Okay, VJ? So good to see you. New member in the house. I got LinkedIn tonight, y'all. I got LinkedIn tonight. We're recording with YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So VJ is coming from LinkedIn. You know, I have a LinkedIn account. Do you have a LinkedIn account? Get you one. Okay. Thank you so much, VJ. Round the train. Who we got? Murphy. Hey, he said, I don't know anything about medicine, but maybe the hit cards is hard. Yeah, that's what happened. That I don't know when you came, but I did a thing about the it's called cordial cordis cormodio, and that's what the technical name is. It's like blunt force trauma. Whenever you see somebody hit in the head, like with a hammer or a baseball bat, that's blunt force trauma to the head. Normally, you see that type of injury to the what? The cranial, the head, or the head, cranial cavity. But in this instance, he hit the man's helmet and body so hard with his chest, so that it was a force that struck his heart, and his heart began to defibrillate. Now, when I say defibrillate, that means it got out of its normal heartbeat rhythm. It fluctuated. It didn't do a normal rhythm. And so that's why he was allowed to get up. But when he tried to move further, because the heart was defibrillating, it couldn't normally function. It stopped, and then he dropped. When you have no heart function, you have no control of your limbs, and that's what happened. His heart stopped beating right on the spot. And for what I'm told, what I read, it stopped beating for 9 minutes. Okay, that's scary. Okay, after 9 minutes, 15 minutes, it's not good, because your body's not getting the oxygen to the organs, your vital organs that it needs to survive and to maintain those organs function. Let's go, Roger. Who we got? Murphy. He said, I don't know anything about. Okay, did I say that already? Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I said that twice. Who we got? Murphy. He said, even if you use a backpack blower or a backpack weed eater, will affect your heart rhythm. Okay. Now Murphy should know that, ladies and gentlemen. He had a business. He was, I guess you would say, a grass man, or he had a lawn service. So he knows about the blowers and all that backpack and stuff. So I didn't know that, Murphy. I didn't know that a backpack would affect your heart rhythm. I did not know that. I had no clue. But so this was a force that was way greater than a backpack or a weed eater or a blower, backpack blower. So that's good information to have. Let's go, Ryan Train, BobbieD, see one nation of the group of love. John in the house. What's up, Big John in the house? Big John. What's up, my brother? So good to see you, Ryan Train. Happy New. Oh, I forgot, man. Happy New Year to Big John. Everybody on the train today. It's so good to have you on the train with me and Lisa D, riding this train into a new year, 2023. It is up to be. If it's to be, it's up to me in 2023, and it's up to you. I did a little quick 1 minute video on that. But whatever you got to do in 2023, get it done. Don't put no excuses up. Well, I couldn't do this. I didn't have no money. I stopped the lie, mister. Everybody, if you don't have money, make away, take away, shake away, break away, and get you some more money. Make it another job, more overtime, get a sideline business, whatever you got to do, man. Make it happen. And stop making excuses happen. Ginger, he said, playing Pee Wee pro football, you have serious risk of a major injury on every play or practice. Yeah, I understand that. Very good point. That's why if I had a boy or son, I have 4 girls, y'all. Oh, I'm a girl, man. They love their daddy, But yeah, I would never recommend my son to play football or anything that has anything like that has boxing, anything that has traumatic, can have a traumatic effect on your head. I wouldn't do it, because I know I did a study on shocks to the head one time. So when you hit somebody in the head like that, that's called blunt force trauma. If you hit them hard enough, your brain gets freeze and you could die. Okay, and so when you hit, let's say in boxing, The force of a box can be very, 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 very huge. Okay, so boxers, one of the targets for a boxer is what? The head. So the boxers get a lot of head hits, and that's why boxers have a lot of issues when they retire, based on the amount. Look at Muhammad Ali. He had I forgot what his disease was, but that was because of his head trauma. You know, how many headshots did Joe Frazier put on him? You know what I'm saying? I'm not being facetious, but that's just happens when you box. That's a part of the sport. That's a risk of boxing. You know, you got to look at the risk versus the rewards. They looked at the rewards more than the risk. Yeah. So I would never put my son in boxing. I would never put him in football. Although I love the sport, that's the crazy thing about. I love to see that, but I would never recommend a young boy to get involved with it. Basketball. Probably it's okay. Baseball probably, but football, no. It's too violent. It's too damaging to a young kid if he gets hurt. Ryan Train, Bobby Lee, One Nation, group of love. John Thomas, he said, I pray that he can live a normal. Yeah, let's pray, man, because they said, based on what I heard the experts say today, 58% of the people that get that type of injury, if they don't make it. 58%. If they don't get to them within the first 9 minutes, they don't make it. And then there's a sort of like a gray area where some of them after the 9 minutes they make it. I mean, if they get to them before 9 minutes, they make it, but the recovery is a long time, and they're not guaranteed to have all of their faculties. Okay, so we're going to pray. Those of you that believe in prayer, that God would make a miracle on this young man, and that we have a total recovery on his faculties. He can speak here, and if you want to go back to do any other sports other than football, I wouldn't recommend if you recover, don't go back into football, whatever you do, son. But that God would move in his life. Okay, let's go. Ryan Train, Bobby Lee, One Nation. We got John Thomas. He said Kevin Everett, a former Bills player, was nearly paralyzed on a kickoff return. Okay, that happens. That's another thing in paralysis. I saw a guy. I was at the game, Mississippi State. This guy was he was just blocking. It was on the kickoff. He was blocking on the kickoff return, and he got hit, and then he fell, and he didn't get back up. They had to pull the strap, and he was in bed. He was in bed for a long time. Then he recovered, and he was paralyzed from the neck down. And then he was in hospital for several years, and he just passed away. One minute he was gone. I read about that. I can't remember his name, but it's Mississippi State. Let's go. Ryan Train, Bobby DC, One Nation, Google up. John, he said Eric LeGrand, a Rutgers University football player, was paralyzed on the kickoff return. He still lives in a good life with the assistance of a wheelchair. If this is another issue, John. Now we understand that if you're in the pro NFL, they cover you 100% for everything. Okay. But the problem is with the college realm, they don't cover these guys. If your parents don't have insurance, you're not going to get taken care of for long. That's the problem with the college. They want them they make money off all of these kids. Okay, they sell T-shirts, they sell tickets, they sell everything. But if the kid gets injured, the college would do a little bit, but they're not going to do the whole realm. If he has a critical injury that requires him to be bedridden, and he has to be taken care of 24/7, the college gonna say, okay, we spent $30,000, $100,000. That's all we're gonna give you. And you on your own. And so they would have to file for medical assistance from the United States government and all of that, and it still may not be enough. So college need to step their game up as far as helping these athletes that play football and other sports for them if they get critical injuries. Let's go around, Chain Bobby DC, One Nation, Group of Love. Hey, John Thomas, he said the only thing the NFL can do is eliminate kickoffs and punts, because on these plays are running full speed and hit a lot hard. That's right. Very good point, John. Very good point. So the only problem with that, John, many people won't go to the games. I'm sorry, man. That's one of the kickoffs is one of the most exciting plays in the games, and so is the punt. But you're right. They run harder, they hit harder, they run faster on punts and kickoffs. And when you think about it, the person that's receiving the ball, okay, he's left helpless. He catches, as soon as he catches the ball, 5 guys hit him, he gonna be eat up. He gonna be hurt, a world of hurt, world of pain. And so I think you have something there. They need to consider that, or perhaps maybe altering the kickoffs and the punts rather, and then maybe not letting them run as fast. Maybe them, I don't know about walking. I don't know. Maybe they could walk. You think you could walk and maybe catch somebody? I don't know. But but definitely, I don't know about eliminating the kickoffs and punts totally. But that's something there that they need to consider. They need to do some brainstorming on what we can do to resolve these major hits like this. Okay, not only on the NFL side, but also in the Pee Wee League and also in the high school. A lot of school kids paralyzed and stuff. Okay, we back. I got to drop for a second there. I got bad connection. All right, let's go. Roger KC, what's up, man? He said, hey, everybody hit the like button for me one time. 1, 2, 3. Chichapaya. 1, 2, 3. Can you hit the like button, please? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's go. Round train, Bobby DC, One Nation, the group, one love. We got that's it. All right, guys. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I got ready to go off the list. Murphy, hey, he said, I don't see too much they can do. The hit state is sustained. It's like a hat. They have a head-on collision in a vehicle and go through almost every play. Yeah. One of the things they did, Murphy, they made a whole lot of changes to how the quarterback is hit. Okay. They can't hit him around the neck. They can't hit him around the head. And they have only certain places they can hit him in the torso area. And so that has changed the way the quarterbacks are throwing the ball. They throw more passes now. They have more completions now, and that's because they get away from them. They're limited to how they can tackle the quarterback. So I would imagine if they can do something like that for the quarterback, they can do something like that for other people in other positions and for the entire people that tackle. They have now. Let me to the NFL's credit, ladies and gentlemen. They have done some things to ensure that the game was more or less violent, by reducing or changing the ways that players tackle. Remember before, back in the day, they used to tackle by the head. They would hit him with the head, hit him with the head. And they found out that was one of the worst things they could do. Had a lot of injuries and a lot of critical injuries, and people got hurt a lot. So they changed the ways where they tackle. Now they can only tackle with the shoulder. They can tackle with the shoulder, but not with the head. They can't hit them with the head because they have a helmet. That helmet is like a weapon. It's a blunt force trauma. Okay. And so what I think, if you recall, if you understand how wide receivers play, whenever they come across the middle, that's when they're susceptible to being hit by multiple people, and they go up in the air. They should do something about that. Whenever the person's up in the air, they should let them come down with the ball before they can hit them. But so they hit them in the air when they're reaching for the ball, and that causes a lot of injury as well. There's a lot of things they can do, man. I think so, if they think hard enough. The problem is NFL don't want to lose that money. Yeah, they don't want to lose the money. They don't want to lose a fan base. They get millions and millions of dollars from these television stations, ESPN deals and ABC, NBC, they get money. And so if they start alleviating the things that people like to see, a lot of people like to see that, and they like to see the hit, they love it. But so if they start eliminating that, making changes to that, the dollars might drop. But you know what, man? The NFL, they make money, but they're a nonprofit organization. You believe that? All the money they make, the millions and billions of dollars they make, they are a nonprofit. They don't pay taxes. Go look it up. Google it. I was shocked when I saw that. They don't pay taxes. So I would, if I was the government, I said, look, either you make some serious changes to the game, or we're gonna change your tax status. We're gonna change your tax status from non-profit to business. Let's go, Ryan Train, Bobby Lee, One Nation, the group of love. Murphy, hey, he said, yeah, that was like giving him a joke with a high defibrillator for no reason. Yeah, that's what happened. Those defibrillators shock your heart. Sometimes when they shock your heart, it will start to beat. Sometimes they can shock your heart and then turn it off, stop beating. So he got like a defibrillator shot, and it just hard to like, what's this? It couldn't take it, and it just shut down on him because it's hard to go into fibrillation. And the defibrillator is a machine y'all seen on TV when they say, everybody clear, and they try to revive him. So that's what he got. He got like a defibrillator shot. And so that's what caused him to be hurt, injured like that. Let's go right track. Who we got? John Thomas. Happy New Year. Thanks so much, John. I appreciate that, man. Happy New Year to everybody on the train today. This is a real quick live stream I wanted to bring out to you guys. We'll be coming back to you tomorrow. Morning. Coming back to you tomorrow with another scintillating topic. You know what I'm saying? That's my word for today. Scintillating. Can you say it with me? Scintillating. I like that word. All right, guys. Let's be real. We gotta go. Coming on the night shift on the new year. That's what I do. You know, I do it for you. Okay? All right, guys. This is BobbieD and the Tuba Queen outside washing my clothes, saying take care, God bless, and hold on, peace.